So I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you guys and having a great weekend. The thing I'm most known for those who don't know, is the voice of Tenchi. But I've done a ton of other stuff as well. If you go on imdb.com, lists all credits for any. You can look anybody up on imdb.com and see all the credits. So there's a bunch of stuff also I've done. Psycho Diver, and I've done a lot of the Miyazaki films, Princess Mononoke, and Kiki's Delivery Service and stuff. But Tenchi's probably the one I'm most known for, and we had a blast doing it for many years. And it's the one probably I had the most fun doing. So, now I'm primarily a theater actor and playwright and director in Northern California. That's what I've been doing the last few years. If you haven't seen any recent credits, that's why. I've been doing a lot of classical theater. And I'd like to hand it over to a very old friend of mine. Not just she's old, but we're old friends. We've known each other since Chicago.
Yeah, since the 80s.
It's probably 30 years or so. Yeah. Petrea.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Before I give you my little bio, which I'm thrilled to do, I do want to point out our friends from Tenchiforum. These guys, if you like or love Tenchi Muyo, these guys are the experts. And they're doing a forum tomorrow at 6. And Matt and I will be there. But they're the ones you're going to want to ask the questions about, well, why does Washi have pink hair now? Or was Ryoko's hair always that sort of gray green? They know everything. It's amazing.
Panel room C, upstairs, way in the back, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. My name is Petrea Burchard, and I've been an actor for a very long time. I didn't really concentrate on voice work. I was concentrating on theater and television for many years. When you're running around LA trying to get yourself cast in a TV series, and then you get yourself cast in an anime series, and you kind of don't even realize it's going to become this wonderful thing, I feel this sort of retro luck that I got to be part of it. It was fun at the time. We had a great time. And now I look back on it and go, wow, that's the thing that people know me for, so that's pretty cool. I stopped acting about 5 years ago. Not that it wasn't fun at the time, but I found that I was more passionate about writing. And so I published a novel last year. This year I published a book that's actually about what it's like to be an actor. It's called Act As If. Stumbling Through Hollywood with Headshot in Hand is the subtitle. My novel is called Camelot and Vine.
Nice.
And what's next? Next is the workshop tomorrow at 5. And I hope those of you who are interested in writing will come. And we can talk about the stories that we've got in one. Okay, thank you.
My name is Darrel Guilbeau, and some of the recent anime, I've been in Blue Exorcist, Durarara, Nora, Rise of the Yokai Clan, which I'm so glad you know. I'm also working on the Magi series, or Magi, Magi, something like that. Yeah, they do different things. We're actually voicing the second season right now, as we speak. And I'm working on a new show that I can't talk about yet. But they told me they call it a cross between, it's really weird, Pokemon, Harry Potter, and Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's kind of weird. But it's a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And
Make it work.
What is it?
Make it work.
Yeah, exactly. Also some past stuff, Samurai Champloo, Hiragashi When They Cry, Paranoia Agent, just a bunch of stuff, Prince of Tennis, all that stuff. Video games lately, I'm in Dynasty Warriors 8, as well as some of the other Dynasty Warriors, different characters throughout. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the Ultimate version as well. Anyone know that game?
Marvel, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So I voiced a great character called Beautiful Joe.
Oh.
I'm that one that everyone. Exactly, he's difficult. Same, I was an actor in LA doing theater and film, TV, commercials, whatever I could get. And then I met someone, actually, I'll tell it at my panel on Sunday, actually. But it was a long story about how I got into voiceover. But it was through acting, and I think most voiceover actors are actors, you know. It's not just that we just do the voices, we do other things. You know, and I have a little secret about Fort Lauderdale. I was here many, many years ago for a month filming one of those horrible spring break movies. So,
What was it called?
Here?
You brought it up.
I know, I had to, because it was just, this is the weird thing. I went to an art gallery opening last week. That friend of mine is an artist, and she had her stuff up. And then I'm looking over and I'm like, oh my God, it's Dick Dork. And yes, it was a character from the movie. There was these two guys, and they were supposed to be like twins. One was tall and goofy, and the other was short and goofy. And they were Dick and Duke Dork. Okay, so I'm talking, okay, this is the kind of movie it was, okay? So I'm just saying. So, but I'm like, oh my God, it's him. So I went up to him, I said, do you remember me? And he was like, yeah, we were in that spring break movie in Fort Lauderdale. I said, yeah. I said, I'm going there next week. And I haven't been here since, so that's the strange thing. Anyway, that's my little Fort Lauderdale.
I'm Nova from the Akira Project. I was the online creative director and also a producer on it, and I did marketing. And aside from just the Akira Project, I'm actually a professional stunt actor, so I've been in movies and TV shows. And then also, on the side of that, I've done marketing for like Bandai Entertainment. When ADV Films was around, I worked with ADV Films for marketing. And that's still what I do today. I do online marketing, development, and film and TV stuff.
So hi, my name is Nguyen again. I'm the producer and director of Akira. Akira was the reason, you know, when I first saw it when I was 8, that got me into film and into the anime world. And that's what I want to do now. I want to do live action adaptations of animes and manga and stuff that I loved when I was young.
And ladies and gentlemen, as our guest, we're going to start taking questions now. If you have questions, raise your hands, and I'll come and help facilitate this. So, first question, if anyone has any in particular. Oh, go. Hold on. Okay, so
You said you're doing live action adaptations. Do you have any licensing issues with that, or can you both do it?
Well, Akira was done without any license. It was just done as a non-profit. But now I have a manager in LA that we're trying to acquire license.
Great. I love the idea. That's great.
now I will ask this about the live action. There was talk and rumor for a while of an Akira adaptation going on, taking place in New York. Are you guys having any trouble due to that adaptation that was floating around?
No, we did speak to our Warner Brothers after that. They are still thinking of doing one. They're talking about shooting something in 2015 now, but it's not certain yet.
Okay, so there might be a conflict there. However,
there's no conflict, I would say. From our discussions with them, they're totally fine with our product. They actually have the ability to take it offline. If you know YouTube, any company can rip down anything as soon as possible. So actually, they knew about it on day one.
And they were fine with it?
And they were cool with it. I think they use it as research, to be honest with you. It's great material for research. Because what they can do with that product is that they can see what the fans are looking for, how they respond to it. Because we've used a full Asian cast, right?
Yeah, and your trailer is pretty much by fans, for fans.
Right. So using, they can see the statistics, they can see, how many people have viewed the trailer, and that actually can help them in like long term for their future. So that's why I feel left it online, because they use it for research.
I'm sure you guys have some cool stories shooting. How long, out of curiosity, I'm going to pull a little from your panel just while I'm on you guys real quick. How long did you guys actually shoot the
live action stuff?
Yeah.
It took us 6 days of shooting, and then it took us a year and a half.
So post-production work? And that's
a lot.
I was going to say, you guys that must have been painstaking because you guys don't have to studio resources a full back.
Yeah, like we outsourced everything, so we used artists from all over the world. We posted a website, we did a campaign on Guilbeau, and people started approaching us with, hey, I can do this, I can do that. and I have to manage like who will pull up what shot, and that's how it's like.
Congratulations, you've impressed all these industry veterans. Congratulations. Now, before I pose any other questions, and that's something I'm not supposed to put my foot on. I know it fell, it's all great. Any questions before I pose some to the cast, or to the guests, or I think I'll ask some more questions, because I have a feeling I see the gears turning in everyone's heads now. So any questions from the fans? Because this is for you guys, to get a chance to get them all here in one shot. Go ahead, raise your hand.
Ask anything you want.
I have a question for Petrea.
Yeah.
When the rest of the cast signed up for Tenchiforum or Ryo-Oki, why did you not
I
do
knew
it?
something.
Here we go.
Yeah, and people ask me all the time, and I have never talked about it. And I was wondering if maybe now would be a good time. I don't know if I should talk about it. I want to be a good business person. I don't want to.
You don't want to spread the drama, yeah.
Right.
If you don't feel comfortable spreading the drama.
I think I won't right now, although maybe I would talk to you right now.
I thought maybe you just couldn't take the character in any other direction. It was pretty much drinking
Oh,
the
not
sake.
at all. I love Ryoko. I think she's a marvelous character, and I would play her. I would still play her for years and years and years to come if I had the opportunity.
And that's, ladies and gentlemen, how you talk about something in a polite manner. Take notes on that. That really is the best way to do it. It's very politely, well-spoken, and no harm, no foul.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was business doing that the whole time, I swear. All right, any other questions? Now, you guys don't have to be afraid to raise the hands. If they can't answer it, they'll politely say they can't answer it. So if you have anything to ask, now's the chance to do so. Go ahead, don't fight.
What was it like voicing for
Oh, for Nura? The interesting thing, if some of you don't know the show, it's called Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan, and it's about this kid who's half human, half demon, half yokai, and so he's sort of they want him to be the demon king, eventually. And so he goes through a transition at night where he's the night version. So there's two of us playing the same character. But I'm the sort of the human side, and Grant George voices the yokai side as he starts that transition. But originally, when I got the role, I was voicing. Who's seen the show? Just so I know who's reference. Okay, well, you've seen it. Okay. Do you know the cat demon? Okay, there's a scene I can't remember what episode, but this guy.
3 or 4.
Yeah,
It's early on.
Yeah, he's getting beaten up and he's running. Well, I was that part first. I voiced that part. So they had voiced the first, I think, 6 episodes. And then I got a call from Mami Okada. She's sort of the manager of Bang Zoom Entertainment where it's being done. And so I get a call and she says, "Hello, Dara, it's Mami calling." And you're like, I love her accent. And she's like, and she says, "We're recasting." And immediately as an actor, when you hear, "We're recasting," you're like, wait a minute. Immediately you don't even have to think. Just within a millisecond, that's what your thought is. Oh my God, I lost the job. And then she says, "We would like to have you voice the lead character, Rikuo." And I was like, oh, okay. And she's, "Well, the other voice just wasn't working," and Aniplex, I think it was Aniplex, yeah.
It's an Aniplex film.
Yeah.
Series.
Was it? Yeah, Aniplex. Yeah. They weren't really too happy with how it was going. So they had me come in, actually, I think it was after midnight or so. It was for Japan time. Because Japan had to, because they had already recorded the first, that's a lot of money to pay all these actors and all the studio time, everything. So now they were under the gun. And not only did I have to be recast, actually Grant George wasn't originally the night guy either. So then Bryce Papenbrook got put in as the cat demon, and then they put in another actor because now the voices were changing. But first they had me go in, and really late at night, and it was Skyping into Japan. And so normally we go really quick, when we're recording, but this time we were going pretty slow because each time I did it, we had to stop. And then Japan, they would talk about it. Okay, now we're gonna do this line. Okay, now this line.
Wow.
So I think that happened about 10 or 12 times.
That sounds pretty tedious.
Yeah, and then after the 12th or 10th time or something like that, they're like, "Okay, we like what you're doing." Mommy said, "You're going to keep doing it." And then this is the first time I've ever had anyone from Japan actually say, "Congratulations, you have the part. We like what you're doing. Just keep doing it." And then from then on, it just went like we normally do. So that was just a bizarre kind of experience. But I'm so glad I got to do him. I love doing that character.
You know what that tells me, though? Is that on that show, which is not true of all of them, they really care about the quality.
Oh, yeah.
It's worth it to them to
Especially
spend
in
the
newer
money.
shows where the quality is not as good as it should be when they're just pushing it out the product.
Yeah.
Yeah, that issue comes up a lot in panels that I've done. And eventually people ask about different iterations of the series and things. And it really comes down to you get what you pay for. If they put in the money to hire a really good director, hire somebody to do a really good polished script, so it's not clunky and doesn't sound weird in English. If you invest in all of those elements, then you get a really good product. If you start cutting corners, that's when you guys can tell when you watch stuff, and it's like, this is just not good, they're not doing it well. That voice just isn't right. That's what happens.
I got a question for all of you. Do y'all have instances where you have like bloopers and stuff?
Oh, no, I never made there.
Sometimes, some series, usually not on the anime, but on original series that I've done, like James Bond Jr., they'll give you a gag reel at the end when they're done recording. They give you a CD with all the bloopers and gags on it. It's pretty hilarious.
My biggest blooper was when we had two producers. One of them was Miyoko Yura from Japan, and she
Sounds just
she sounded like Mom, and she was a wonderful, lovely lady.
Wonderful.
And there was an episode during which Ryoko was supposed to sing a rock tune, and this is not the karaoke episode.
Which universe is it supposed to take in?
Boy, I don't
universe? When they're okay.
I don't remember.
So I guess
But
it's
she
like
expected me to get into
Yeah.
the studio and sing a rock tune. And I said, Miyoko, I cannot sing. And she said, of course you can. You've got a good speaking voice. You can have a good singing voice. And I said, no. I'm making her sound Italian. But, I would like to have that one because
I would too.
because I went home and I worked on the song, and I thought, this is one of the essays in my book, actually. I thought I was pretty good, I was digging my work. And I came in the studio, and by the time I got there that morning, I thought, boy, this is a mistake. I shouldn't do it. And this is when we were at that place on Ventura Boulevard.
Screen music?
Screen music, yeah.
Is that in LA?
It isn't anymore.
It was in
but
LA.
it
It was in LA?
We're talking a long time ago. But I made the engineer put the mic behind a wall where he couldn't see me. I was really nervous. And Miyoko's like, don't worry, you got good voice for talking, you can sing. And when we started, and I don't think they even let me finish the song. At least they didn't make me do a second take. But she says, you're right. Wish I had that. That was just a mess.
That happened to me on Fern Gully. Yeah, we did Fern Gully 2, right? So I'm taking over for Robin Williams, who did Batty in the first one, right? So it's not too much pressure. But I have to sing this song. And it's... Yeah, it's got off the song. Oh, yeah. Well, it's supposed to be like this big... kind of a gospel, if you want the genre of the song. It's supposed to be a revivalist, getting everyone going. I work on this thing, and I do a couple of takes, and I'm exhausted, but I think it sounds, okay. Batty's not supposed to be an opera singer. I don't find out till I see it. They replaced it. Somebody else did the song. Yeah. So if you ever watch Fern Gully 2, it's not me singing.
Next question? Go ahead.
Yeah, I had one for Matt.
Yeah.
Was there any really significant difference in the studio quality atmosphere of working for the dubbing of the Miyazaki films in relation with perhaps Tenchi or some other anime that you've done? Is there a big difference? Because I know Disney is very different from Pioneer back in the day.
Yeah.
Was even Disney not involved back in the day for dubbing as much?
Not as much. No, not directly. They weren't. They weren't taking it too seriously. They didn't realize what they had, I don't think, yet. So there wasn't the pressure. And in fact, it was done, I think, in the same studio, Screen Music, I think, where we did the Miyazaki. So it felt very similar. It's engineers. I
Debadere and Ernie and those guys, you know. So it felt very similar. Because it was feature film, I think there was a little bit more care. But that was the only anime project where I would be distracted because it was so good. I've been used to doing it in the booth, dubbing stuff, doing anime, and then they showed me this Miyazaki stuff, because how you record is they've got a monitor in the booth with you, so you can watch the monitor and you're in the recording. And I'd be watching this, and the beeps would go by and they're like, Matt, what? Oh, I'm sorry, it's incredible! This is really good, you guys!
That's the Miyazaki quality production.
That's the Miyazaki, man. It's just that good. It's, you know, stuff. So.
Oh, I have a quick little thing. It just came to my mind. Something does it show up? Okay, you're talking about like quality of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, when I'm recording right now, we just caught it that the animation in Japan, they forgot something. I was doing the lip flaps and the character's kind of like in the distance, and like the main character's like holding on to this stone or something, and then it was like a stalagmite, and then my character's like down there, and then the mouth is doing this right here on the side of his head. They didn't animate it on the. That's weird. Yeah, and we were like, oh my god, nobody caught this.
They churn that stuff out.
Yeah. So the mouth is going. So I'm having to dub to the mouth that's not on my mouth. You know, it's on the side of the character.
That's
I don't know if they can, because it's already. You know, I guess they can.
They could, doesn't mean they will. But
Yeah, I don't know if they will, but it'll be pretty hilarious if it comes out that way, because I will be looking for it.
As I said, you see the quality production sometimes come out when it's just being mass
But you
produced.
just don't know, you know, like how quickly. This one I know is going out really quick, so I think that's part of the issue. But I thought that was good.
I think what's interesting though in animation though is some of the continuity errors, because I never thought to look for them.
Yeah.
Like TV and film, you can actually catch the like someone's eating a sandwich and it's like gone, but then in the next shot you see them actually eating it again. Like that's easy to catch, but in animation, I've noticed recently that you can actually see some of the continuity errors, and I find that kind of funny.
Yeah.
Do you have a blooper reel, like a stunt blooper reel?
I don't have a stunt. I like a stunt demo reel. I don't have a blooper reel, but.
Because I would hate to see the bloopers.
If you're working for someone that you know, let's say a director, they'll pull pranks on you and they'll put you in awkward situations that make no sense to the scene, and then they'll ask you to work that into the scene and then do your stunt. So I've had that happen. Like I had in one of the shows that I do, I was doubling an elderly woman, and she was on a bicycle and she falls off the bicycle. So before that, they usually do the pickup like right before a couple seconds, but earlier in that scene, she's grabbed somebody's ass. So my friend thought it would be funny if my hand was on this other actor's ass, and he's like, that's not hard enough. So he really wanted me to take a firm grab as a joke, and I was like blushing. I'm like, this doesn't go with the scene yet. Like, why is this so far ahead? And then I'd have to act into, as the actress, you have to watch how the actor's mannerisms are, so you have to follow them. And then you go into the stunt, and then you would do the fall. And sort of like little things like that. Or like,
you grab some.
yeah, like, just grab someone's ass and get it on, camera. It was funny for everyone.
If you, one of the shows I'm in called Do Ra Ra Ra, do you know the show?
No, not really. I've actually lost touch in anime. That's why I came here. So.
It's Durarara. But if you go on YouTube, Aniplex itself, the company that has it, actually put out a blooper reel.
Oh, really?
It's on. So they did it at one of the at Anime Expo in LA. So what they did is they just had all the crazy things that were said. So you can see it on YouTube. Just do Durara bloopers.
We're also showing it here on Sunday in the viewing room upstairs. Yes, we are. Trust me, we're showing Tenchiforum, original Tenchiforum, on Saturday at noon. Downside is that's during your panel. We're showing Tenchiforum during your panel, which seems kind of counterintuitive to me, but I didn't make the schedule. We have a new schedule lady. God bless her. She's a science teacher in Florida high school. That's on my field.
And I'm showing Andrew S. You guys have done it top of my head, not that I can see, but stuff has been known to change.
Yeah, and then we're also showing Darrel on Sunday. Kind of sad we're not showing. I was expecting us to show one of the Tenchi movies. Well, we can't really show the first Tenchi movie, but that's kind of. The first one, when the spirit of Tenchi's grandfather comes and makes Tenchi 2 years older, takes him to Tokyo, and he's an art student. And there's that one scene very in particular.
That's the third one. Yeah.
Is that the third one?
That's the third one.
I got it mixed up here. Absolutely right. That is the third one. For some reason, I know why I saw that one first, and then I saw the second one third. I saw them all screwed up. Yeah. Speaking of which,
how are making the movies in comparison to the shows and the production grade and the effort put in from the studio themselves help you guys put out a better product or a better quality product?
I don't know if your impression is different. I think it was pretty much the same. The quality was about, Matt and I were talking about this earlier. You can't just translate from the Japanese to the English and then use that. First of all, you have too many syllables to fit the flaps, or not enough. Second of all, the jokes don't work, the references don't work. You have to completely rewrite. So you get a translation into English and then someone rewrites it for you. That's a really important stage, that rewrite. And when we got Jack Fletcher, he did those rewrites, and he directed us in the booth. And we had, before him, I think, David.
The very first one was that woman. Remember? She did go there.
Yeah. Anyway, Jack Fletcher brought a lot of quality, and our producers brought good quality. And Jessica Koplos-Miller and Miyoko Mura, and the engineers. So we worked with the same people, whether we were doing a feature or an episode. And I think the quality was good, was equal. It felt like that.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been unspoken sort of a little extra care because it was a full-length movie. But I was telling the story out, we were talking before with these guys, that the first movie, we did take such care, as we always do with all the episodes, to match the flaps exactly, and as many takes as it took. We got it right and precise. So they took that and sent it to Japan for approval from the original creators and whatnot. And they, in doing so, back in the video days, they had to reformat it to that video format. The international one I'm talking about, PAC.
PAL.
NTSCJ.
Those VCRs were such a pain in the neck.
Yeah. So they transferred to PAL for them to look at. So then they transferred back from PAL to VHS. When they got it back and they showed it at the premiere, it was off. All that work for nothing. We were just...
How badly off was the track?
Just a second or two.
Enough to give Godzilla effects. We've all seen bad subbing and dubbing where it's Godzilla mode the whole time. It's just like...
But we were just in agony watching the premiere because all that work had just been...
For nothing. Tracks were a little harder to manage back on those VHS days. I saw the first Tenchi Muyo, I think, on VHS, and it was all Godzilla'd out. But hey, that's how you know you watch your. That's how you know you were watching it for real. Sunko Sammy sold Godzilla ones like this track's off. Like, oh, okay, we'll get the fresh one. No questions asked. All right, guys. Any questions before I BS with them more? Go ahead.
You said you worked on Paranoia Agent. Did you do a specific character, or was it just like all the random?
I did a specific character, and it was only one episode, but it was actually such a fun. I didn't know I was going to be actually doing it. Sometimes, like, you get cast and things, they don't even tell you what you're doing until you show up. That's true. Like, okay, you're going to be in the show Paranoia Agent. Okay, what am I doing? Well, when you get there, you'll see. And it's, I'm hoping we're going to have some audio on Sunday. I have a Q&A. I'm hoping to show actually that clip on Sunday. But it's the character who's studying for his exams. And during the gossip thing, and the things he's studying starts popping out of his eyes, and starts coming out of his mouth, all that stuff, and then he goes in the bathroom and has that nervous breakdown. Yeah, so that was him. So that was actually a lot of fun, because I didn't realize I was going to have to throw up, try to stuff back in my mouth while I was talking, have a nervous breakdown, all that stuff. So that was
Your panel is at 10 a.m. on Sunday in panel room B.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to show that clip, because I did bring it.
That was a cool clip.
That was fun.
And what I wanted to mention at panels on Sunday, you guys are in panel room A at 1 after my Toonami panel. Where I actually do one of my clips, a show clip from each generation of Toonami, and I made a full Tenchi Muyo versus that was one of the big things on Toonami for a long, long time. Speaking of which, I know this doesn't apply to you guys. I do apologize. You guys both have reached out through your different shows, be it Darrel or even your Paranoid Agent, and through Tenchi's universes, period, and then the universes. So I digress. How does it feel that you guys have all left your little footprint on the fandom as it's come along the years? I'm gonna throw you under the bus. Come on. I expect good things from you as the writer.
Darrel and I were talking about gratitude.
Yes.
That's how it makes me feel. It makes me feel grateful. It's really, the anime fans are incredible. I've had such, people have appreciated my work. It's so nice to be appreciated. And I've also made friends. I mean, real friends, you know, among the fans. And you just can't beat that.
I can't give you the warm and fuzzies.
I know.
I mean, myself as well. I feel so grateful to have, gotten into the anime world. And I did my first convention in like 10 years ago. No, yeah, almost 10 years ago. And I didn't know anything. I did maybe 2 years of anime, and I loved doing it. But you're in your little booth, you're in your little world, and you do it, and then it's gone. No anybody watches it. You just like, oh, okay, I did some work, and I'm so glad I got to work. But it's just, for me, when I come to the cons, what helps is just knowing that, wow, somebody watched what I did, that's amazing. Or show that, even if I had a small part in something, people still appreciate it. Like I had small parts in Bleach, but there's such a big Bleach following, or, things like that. And I've been doing cons now that whole time, and I love coming because I get to meet you guys. So it's fun.
All those warm and fuzzies, all the feels. Thank you guys very much. I know there was under like oh great, here comes the big question. Jeez, no preparation. Any questions from you guys before we go back? I'm going to go you guys first because I know sometimes things pop up in people's heads randomly, and our ADD keeps it there for 3 seconds if we're lucky. So any more questions before I go back to our wonderful guest here? All right, so what brought you guys into the Akira project? What made you guys want to actually do it out of curiosity? What made you guys want to actually take on the endeavor to try and put something on like that? Because as you said, it took you 6 days of shooting, then another year and a half of post-production work to make a trailer.
Okay, well, the whole story is that's Akira's the reason I studied film production. Is that I wanted to make Akira when I was 17, 18, but obviously at that time I couldn't. And then Hollywood tried 3 times. When we first decided to do it was in February 2012, and we had just canceled the 3rd live-action adaptation. And I really wanted to see Akira. And I had read the script of the 2nd adaptation. It was horrible. So
that script was pretty god-awful.
Yeah, like it popped on the internet. Everybody
and it got panned unanimously.
Yeah. So I was kind of dreading the 3rd adaptation anyway. So they got canceled, and I was like, what the hell? Might as well do something just for fun. And we decided to do something super small. Me and my friend. It was like 1 scene from Akira. And we launched the project. Then we got more people offering their help, and that's kind of how we worked together.
I jumped on. We met at Sundance. Originally, I was at the very beginning. I was on the project. We met at Sundance. I was there to promote the shotgun. I was the female doctor that gets dragged across the room, harpooned through a ceiling, and then electrocuted. But prior to that, there's a fight sequence as well. I don't know how. And then 2 years later, I jumped on board.
Go to film school?
Yeah. Concordia.
Went to Concordia in Montreal? Yeah. Miles, you might want to talk to this guy later. Okay. Follow Nazim Snow doing it. This is Miles, he's the director of our documentary actually.
Yay!
But see guys, what you can do with a little bit of drive, a little bit of passion for something, you can do something as awesome. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, go YouTube it later after the panel, and then show up to their panel and ask them questions about this. It's a pretty awesome little trailer. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. I have to come on that shout. I'm not, I swear. I can't control the guests because yours was well and deserved earlier.
Yeah,
that was pretty.
I was justified.
But I have to try and play nice until the sun goes down. Well, Florida, we haven't seen the sun all day, but that's besides the point. For those who don't know, we ran into.
We're like, we want sun.
We want bathing suits.
Well, technically so did I, but I don't think think we're gonna get much use of it this weekend. It's just the way it works. Sorry. Come from Canada to Florida. No snow. And what's this? Lack of sun.
I'll come from Southern California to Florida and you're welcome to rain.
Yeah, right.
It's not snowing here.
I want to take some rain.
Don't remind us.
So I think you guys got all that dryness over there. Let's bring it back to you guys. So, you guys did Muyo's first, correct? Before I speak out for the Gabby, I'm all fried.
Tenchiforum.
Yes. Tenchiforum was shot first and released first in America, correct? I mean, it was dubbed first and then released first, or did I have that backwards?
I'm not sure what you mean, but it was created in Japan and acted by Japanese actors.
Oh no, I meant when you guys dubbed and released Muyo here in Japan. I mean, in America. For the first one, that was the first series, right?
Ask them.
It was the first, yes. Yes, the first 13 episodes, yes.
I'm still kind of lagged. You guys did Muyo first. Were you guys confirmed to do Muyo into all of them? Into what was the next one after Muyo? It was
Universe.
Were you guys confirmed to do Muyo in the universe, or did you have to wait for Muyo to be popular and then get cast and then get called back to go do dub for universe?
No.
I know.
Not particularly.
I wasn't. I came in, I did the episodes, it was over, thank you very much, and then, months later or whatever, we get a call, we're going to do some more, you want to come and do it?
Yeah.
Okay. But there was no contract.
There was no contract for all of it straight out, it was just, let's do it, oh hey, this took off, come back and let's do some more work?
Oh wow.
Do it piecemeal, yeah.
Did it piecemeal you guys out there? So it's a terrible question to ask, but I'm running on gas here. Which was, out of the three that were pretty well received here in America, because after Tokyo, things kind of died down for the fandom down here. It fell off the networks, and it was going to be found on DVDs and tapes until Suncoast went out of business, and then it was even harder to find. This Best Buy was charging $100 for a season.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've dropped quite a bit of money in Best Buy to buy her a Tenchi Muyo DVD set. Just because it happened to be there, the only one, it was like $120.
And it's $120 just for all of Muyo, I think.
I didn't have it with me.
University charged, they had a $200 master set for Universe.
Well, I remember at Suncoast, and I don't know if you guys respond to this, but because sometimes I'd be in a mall and oh, Suncoast. Now I'm gonna look for myself. Tenchi section. Oh, and I look at that's the subtitle. Oh, that's the subtitle. They wouldn't necessarily have the dub. Oh wow. Did you guys? I mean, it was like
the dub.
It was the dub, and it actually came with it only came with the OVA and then the Rio Oki adaptations. It didn't come with the Universe or Tokyo in it.
But you always did dub into the subtitle.
It was a dub, which was really good. And then I found another re-release of the OVA that was dubbed, and it's actually a couple seconds off. It sucks, but it's awesome to have.
I had a train of thought. I keep losing these today. I'm really bad at this. Questions for you guys before we go back to Ask the Panel? Go ahead.
This is from Matt and Petrea. I noticed on some of your work you guys use alternate names like Petrea, you use Celeste Birch. Why do you guys do that?
You tell.
Well, the truth is, when it started, they weren't union, and we wanted them to be union for probably obvious reasons, and pay scale and all, health and benefits and all that. So they weren't at first. So technically, we weren't supposed to do it, but we figured if we started with them, we could get them to transition to union.
Yeah.
So because of the first couple were non-union, we had to use different names. So
It's
we made them
kind
up.
of a good faith gesture.
Yeah, exactly.
So question, your stage names you chose for these productions, why did you choose them? I'm going to throw you on the
Well, my
bus.
middle name is Celeste. My last name is Burchard, so I chose Celeste Birch.
Okay.
Yeah. I use the old Hollywood name game. You take your middle name and the street you live on. So my middle name actually is Kermit. At the time I lived on Beechwood Drive.
Love you in Sesame Street. Oh my God.
Thank you. I'm here all week.
You're not as green as in person.
Well, makeup.
How many different voices do you do?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
A lot of times though they're similar, like especially because I do a lot of I forget the name of the type of character. Otaku? Is that otaku characters? Sort of like these shy schoolboys.
The more socially reclusive characters.
Yeah, I do a lot of those. But I also do branch off and do other voices like demons and hero type stuff. I'm also in Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Crystal Bearers, which I have a much deeper range than that one. Some warrior stuff, but it's
You
just,
must be doing quite a variety.
and then Beautiful Joe, of course, you know, is so different. It's really high pitched and kind of crazy and wacky. So it just, you know, and sometimes you don't even know really what you're going to do. Like, I mean, you do have to sort of be close to the Japanese, but you can't be there. A lot of times people say, well, you don't sound anything like the Japanese. Well, if you want them to sound exactly like the Japanese and the English, then that Japanese actor needs to learn English.
Yeah.
Okay? And then it would sound exactly the same in English. But, or I've had characters where I've seen a picture of them and then I'll just get sort of a mental focus of like, oh, what's this character like? I did one on Zoid's Genesis, which has never been released in this country yet. 15 episodes.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I'm not happy about that. I'm waiting.
Yeah, it started Toonami, right? It was like the first 9 or so many episodes, and then Toonami went out.
Yeah, they picked it up and then just dropped because the toys weren't moving whatsoever.
Right.
They didn't release any toys over here for it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Europe. Sorry. But so there was a character in there, and then my first impression of him, the description was, oh, he's sort of like David Carradine's Kung Fu from that old TV show. You know, because he's very calm and meditative. So that was my voice for that character. So just,
Follow-ups? Yes, no?
What's the craziest stunt you've ever done?
I get this one all the time. No, I didn't do that one.
Oh, you didn't do it?
No, oh God, no.
I would love to have seen it.
Okay. Anyways, everyone asks me what's the craziest stunt I've done, and you can't compare them because they're all totally different. Like the hobo with the shotgun one, like you think I would have been dead as like when you play a character, like you are that character. So I was a doctor. I shouldn't know martial arts. I shouldn't know all this stuff, but I actually do know martial arts, being myself. So my doctor there, you know, get kicked in the face, get dragged across the floor, and then shot through a ceiling, and then electrocuted. Like that was a fun one to do. I've done rollerblading down an escalator and falling, and hitting my mark while holding drinks. And you got to be aware that during, okay, this was for a Comcast commercial, and they actually couldn't show it because it was too violent. But it was like really awesome. But the thing was, you got to remember though, if you get the drinks on you, you have to change your wardrobe and then do it again. And so I actually did that take 7 times, but we didn't change wardrobe. First it was booked because they're like, oh God, we can't use the drinks because if the drinks they didn't know this till the day. They're like, what happens if the drinks get on the escalator? And well, that's like a lot of money to clean up because you have to take out everything and then clean it up. So they're like, okay, your mark is gonna be here for the fall. You need to make sure the drinks do not get on the escalator for the take. We had 1 take. It was the end of the day. That usually is what happens. So we did books to start, so that they could actually see and see if the books would work, just in case the drinks did not work. Anyways, I'm very good at hitting my mark, and I'm very good at like doing stuff performing. So because I practice a lot. Not escalators. I don't randomly just jump on them.
Jump on the escalator. That's disturbing to peace, I think.
But because it was very difficult, I'll give you that. Because the wheels are rolling while you're going down the escalator. And here's the thing: there's tricks to stunts, and it's all about safety. So before I did the stunt, any of them, we actually locked the wheels off so they weren't rolling. So you actually are stepping down. And we tried that, but it wasn't working out. So then I cut that, and then when they were rolling again, it worked better. It looked nice. So I had the drinks, and I'm going down, and it's actually in my demo reel. You can actually see it if you look me up online. And I fall and I hit my mark. The drinks do not get on the escalator. They like go flying in the air, and they go everywhere. I fall, and it looks great. But that's nothing like the hobo with a shotgun. And it's nothing like I've been thrown into a wall. I've done fight sequences. They're all sort of different.
You did fire?
I haven't done fire yet. I really want to do fire. That'd be really exciting.
And when it's a little pyro inside.
But fire's different though. It's like everything's completely different. For fire, it's very much about being calm and knowing when to go down. It's a full safety team, and it's really again about safety. Stunts is all safety. You need to know where to put the gel. You need to know where to put the fire. You know where you're going to put the fire. You need to be moving because if you're static, it heats up faster, and the burn's not as long. So there's like a whole process to stunt.
And even then, the fire is still kind of unpredictable.
No, you try to make it as predictable as possible because you want to control the situation as a stunt coordinator. As a performer, we're just performing the gags. We're just here's your job. You need a fall here. You need to do a fight sequence, coordinate it. But if you're a stunt coordinator, then you just do the job. That's it. But stunt coordinators they set the stunt up so it's as safe as possible. They know everything that could happen and they try to prevent that. So crazy stunt. The most fun stunt I know was Hobo the Shotgun. I love that one. Good long sequence.
So he's kind of overdone this part.
Goodbye.
It was great. It was so much fun. The only hard part about the Hobo the Shotgun thing was, if you actually have seen the movie, it's Rip and Grinder that actually kill me. So I think I was fighting Rip, and Rip has this. They both wear these masks, and you can't see through them. So we actually had prop. He's got this like prop blade, and it's not real, so it won't hurt me. But he can't see. So when he's going at it, it hits the wall. Well, it's gonna break. So it broke twice, and we only had 2. So then we had to take the real one, and the real ones are metal. So then we have, on set, you have the first AD, it's all about safety. So I said, listen, we'll keep our distance, we'll keep distance for your fight sequences. And, we hit our marks perfectly, no one got injured, and it looked great. So it's very precise, we're very precise.
That's why I love the stunts in anime. I love fighting in
I haven't
anime.
been hurt once.
I haven't been hurt at all.
Besides the stuff you're obviously clearly known for, in your case Tenchi, in your case Darrel, and I know this doesn't apply to you guys as much again, I'm really bad at getting you guys involved in this whole discussion.
No, it's really cool. I mean, we actually did very successful online. We have 2.8 million hits. We have a lot of fans. We went to many conventions and we had a lot of success there. So we're pretty proud of the work we've done, I would say.
It's a great looking trailer. I kind of really want the movie to come out already, but we can't force that on there.
Well, I'll search it on YouTube.
Yeah,
Akira trailer?
Just the Akira project.
The Akira
That's the
project?
first thing.
And how about your stunt reel?
Oh, it's if you go to I actually have a website, novastunts.com.
Novastunts.
Yeah, it's on there.
Keyword, novastunts.com, ladies and gentlemen. But besides the stuff you guys are really known for, what else are you really proud of that you've worked on? So I know a lot of your guys' body of work is massive from years and years of work, but besides your main stuff, what else are you super proud of that people probably may not have heard of?
Well, a lot of my theater work, I'm extremely proud of. I've worked with Ian McKellen and the Royal National Theatre of Great Britain in the production of Enemy of the People. I was very proud of. Played with Los Angeles, the Almonds. Played Salieri, played Iago, played Tartuffe. A lot of classical theater I'm very, very proud of. That's what I've been doing the last several years.
No shame in that. That's kind of actually impressive.
Matt is a very fine classical actor.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So is Kat.
My wife, Catherine, right there, also an actor.
Petrea.
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 We'll just practice all weekend.
Say it one more time.
Petrea.
Petrea.
Yeah.
Her speech impediment needs to help me and kick this in right now.
What am I proudest of? Well, I'm proud of having survived a 30-year acting career. I'm proud of having made a living, if not all the time, at least much of the time.
That's the hard part.
And I'm very proud that, some actors, not Matt, not Kat, obviously, and not Darrel, but some actors.
Take it for granted?
No, they keep on struggling and suffering when it's not past their time. I don't mean that. If you want to struggle and suffer, then you go, you do it, as long as you've got the passion. But when your passion runs out, there is no reason to do it. It's too hard. So you've got to love it to stick with it. And I found myself falling out of love with it. So I'm really proud that I had something else that I was really loving.
Your book?
Writing, yeah. And I had already started it, believe it or not, when I was in England studying with the Royal Shakespeare. I got the idea to write this story about an actress who falls through a gap in time and saves King Arthur's life. Because I was in that
Stars
country.
right now, almost.
Huh?
It sounds like something on Stars right now.
Well, there's a lot of King Arthur stuff.
No, but I mean similar to that where a girl fell in whole time.
Oh, yes. It's in fact it's not exactly like Outlander. Because Outlander is I think 17th, 18th century.
It's 17th century.
Yeah, my character lands in the 6th century. It's the Dark Ages. Things are different there. It's post-Roman. So, and she's not the same person. But yeah, it's the same idea. Time slip, somebody mind ends up in the past. And I'm very proud of it. It's a good book. I'm happy with it.
Darrel, myself, I mean, I kind of agree with you where it's like I'm so glad to still be working. I did quit for a season as well, and I actually moved to Hong Kong. I was acting I did that Florida movie. I was doing like some B movies and things like that, but I wasn't really happy with the kind of work I was getting, so I decided, okay, I just need to do something else. And I actually ended up, I was working in Vietnamese refugee camps in Hong Kong under the UNHCR for a year, and that was an incredible experience. Came back to LA, and then it's like, now what do I do with my life? So I always just knew to be an actor. That's always what I wanted to be and do. Then I went what I call my, God knows, 8-9 year dark night of the soul is what I call it. And but never thought I could go back to acting because it just seemed too far away. And just the thought, because the thought of like, trying to get headshots again, trying to get an agent, just kind of brought this.
There's a saying in the business: you're not a real actor unless you've actually quit twice.
Yeah.
Only twice is sure, not 3 times try.
And I ran into someone that I had known for many years back, this producer guy, and was giving him my tale of woe. Because at that time, I think I was working in a doctor's medical malpractice insurance company in Century City. And I'd be on the 7th floor in the height of the skyscraper, and I'd like in these gray cubicles and looking out like. And there was this girl, she would call me Darrel, but she had an accent. Yeah, and I'd go to the window, she'd go, "Don't jump, girl. Don't jump." I'm close. I'm close. And so I ran into him, and he was like, "Darrel, you're an actor, you have to get back to acting." And I was like, I can't. Are you kidding me? It's too hard. And then just little by little, I took a class with Alan Feinstein, with him, and sort of that kind of, I was like, oh, yeah, I know how to do this. And this is what I love to do. But it still felt kind of weird, like getting back into it. And then I'm so glad I did. And then the anime came a few years later after that. So. Oh, but 2 little quick things I want to promote. I actually had a little short film here in Hollywood, Florida. They had a film festival lately.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I had a little short film called Becoming Henry about a Holocaust survivor. He survived 5 concentration camps, and I got to portray him. And the family, actually, I got to meet the family of the guy, so it was really an amazing project. And it's now at the LA Holocaust Museum permanently, part of the Show Up project, too.
I'm surprised hasn't reached out here to a part of Hillel and a lot of the other, because there's a lot of Jewish foundations based here in South Florida.
It may, eventually, but it's still making the film festival circuit.
That's good.
I think it's going to Denver and Dallas, and someone told me Bermuda. But, and also did, on the opposite end, a little web series that's actually, this weekend, they're premiering it like at a little house party, and then it's going to be online soon, called Bozos. And it's about 2 crazy clowns who do kids' parties. And I'm only on the first episode. I'm a guest, where they always have sort of a foil, and I'm a ventriloquist with an evil dummy. So, and I'm not a ventriloquist in real life. So you don't know if I'm crazy or if the dummy really has a real life.
Figured her out.
Yeah, he was creepy. The dummy was really creepy because I had it for like 3 days before so I could practice with it, and like, I wanted to develop a bond. And so I had him on this little bench in my bedroom, and I have a mirrored closet door, and I was in the closet looking in the mirror, and I look, and there sitting is that dummy, and I'm like, he is freaking looking at me. I did not put his head that way. He is freaking looking at me that way. At night, you're in the hall closet. So he's freaky looking. It's called Bozos. You can look it up.
The stalls are really creepy.
Yeah. So it's a fun episode. The clowns. One's an alcoholic and one is manic depressive, and they do kids parties. One of them gets in a fight with the dummy. They hate each other, and I'm the one trying to keep them together. I'm the nice guy. So check it out, Bozos.
And our hero, Miss Nova, what about you? You got anything else besides Hook Over the Shotgun that you're kind of really proud with, or is it all your stuff you're like NovaStunts.com?
Sorry?
NovaStunts.com.
NovaStunts.com has officially a demo reel, but I mean, like IMDb has a list of what the credits I've done. I'm pretty proud of the work that I've been able to get or do. It's like it's different. It's a different process than actors. I get called by stunt coordinators, so when they hire me, you know, I'm just so thankful.
All right. And what about you, sir? You have anything else people you would like more people to see, or is it just to hear about the crown roll?
No, it's like it's something different. Like before I got to film, I was a dentist. So I'm really good at taking wisdom teeth out. Right, this one.
And with that, now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the Q&A panel with our wonderful guests. We'll see them around the convention all weekend long. Please stick around, ladies and gentlemen. We have Miles coming up here. We're going to actually do a screening, I believe, of the documentary he shot on our
That's going to be Sunday.
Oh, Sunday? So you're just doing any Q&A about the documentary?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, stick around for Q&A about the documentary. It is, according to my schedule, it's supposed to be 4.
Okay.